Social Relevance Revolution. And I hope you've understood the idea. The idea is geography is now debating about why should we study geography if geography does not have practical relevance to solve a human suffering and to solve problems of poverty, inequalities, to address concerns of conflicts, racism, to address concerns of environmental problems. अगर geography solve नहीं कर पा रहा है, then geography is like a mechanical subject. It is knowledge for the sake of knowledge, but nothing which is of utility. This was the debate. And in the debate, we realized that this is the outcome of the type of social political conditions of the 60s and 70s. Halaki, yes, the World War II was bad, and after the World War II, the world did rebound back. The 50s was a good phase in terms of economic growth. But uske saath kya hua? The Cold War started. Uske saath kya hua? A lot of conflicts had started. Halaki, the Vietnam War was in 70s, but the conflicts had begun from 50s. Korean War ho chuka tha. 52, 53 mein Korean War ho chuka tha. We had problems related to the West Asian crisis. 70s mein again Iranian revolution hua. And US itself was going through racism, rights of the blacks, rights of the women. The social political conditions of those time was driving the direction of the disciplines. So geography said that geography should be relevant to address the social problems, political conflicts, and so on. That's one. Second, we said that while geography was developing into a problem-solving discipline, ab debates ye ho gaya that what approach should geography follow? So one group of scholars said that we will go for democratic processes, reforms, amendments in laws. We will have more proactive governance systems, and we will make our capitalism more responsive. So abhi bhi capitalism hoga, but the capitalism has to be benevolent. Capitalism has to be with a socialist objective. Not profits for the sake of profits, but with some kind of distributive justice. Yes, something like CSR, something like progressive taxation, something like subsidies, something like basic support systems under social welfare programs. So capitalism is no longer pure capitalism with market forces. We need to have some social programs also. Yes. The other group said कि नहीं, capitalism by nature is going to be exploitative. पर आप कुछ भी कर लो socialism में, the fact is the people who are in power will never give up power. People who are controlling the economy, they might act benevolent. But the fact is they continue to control the modes of production. They continue to own the land. They own the capital. They are the ones who will own technology. They are the ones who will own all education institutions. And as charity, they keep giving crumbs here and there. So this is not fair. The system must overhaul the entire economy. The system should entirely change the economy and not mere some subsidies and taxes alone, benefits alone. So we had the liberals and we had the radicals. The liberals were the Democrats, they were the social democrats. The radicals, inspired by Marxist ideas, inspired by communism. The radicals talked about total overhaul of the system. You must overthrow the system and change completely. The ownership must change. इसमें क्या आता है? The ownership of the modes of production, What are the modes of production? Land is a mode, an input of production. Land, labor, okay, capital, technology, information. All of these are called as the modes of production. The ownership of this must change. And these guys said, ownership पे बात नहीं करते हैं, but let us talk about distribution of the outcomes. So they were more keen about distribution of the outcomes, and they continued with capitalist economic systems. Okay, let the production happen the way it's happening. हम बांट देंगे outcomes. We will distribute the outcomes, but they were not talking about letting go of the ownership. That is why these guys called them as conservatives. These guys called them as status quoist. And these guys called them as anarchists. They called them as the outlaws. They were like guerrilla fighters. Okay, so ये debate तो रहा है historically in other aspects also. Okay, so the radical revolution got divided under these two groups: the liberals, the social democrats, who believed in capitalism but distribution of the outcomes, and the radicals, who actually were communists and Marxists. And they believed that nothing short of total revolution. And इनका एक और idea ये था that when the change happens, the change cannot be a soft and a benevolent process. It cannot be a slow, gradual, and it cannot be a quiet process. It has to be revolutionary. It has to be violent. इसमें आपको छीनना पड़ेगा. It is going to be bloody. It's going to be violence. Okay, so these guys promoted that idea because they were inspired by the French Revolution. They're inspired by the Russian Revolution. Okay, they are inspired by the guerrilla revolution in parts of Central America, Mexico में, Cuba में. Okay, so they are driven by that. And they said that this transition आराम से नहीं होने वाला. You must fight it. You must struggle and take control of your rights. So your geography also starts getting influenced by this. So some talked about violent revolutions, others talked about the democratic reforms to change the approach in geography.